I got a list and I wrote a host of things down. And as I began to write the list, although this is the last thing when you think about salary negotiation, is transparency. It is so important. When you look on a job advertisement and you don't see anything about rate, whether it's annual salary, daily rate, right there is a red flag. I'm not able to speak about all jobs, but I'm going to give a blanket statement that the daily rate is extremely important. Very important. What is going to be your daily rate, hourly rate, whatever you want to call it. Now, something else you have to know about is how many hours are you going to work? Is it going to be 40 hour, 35 hour, 30 hour, 20 hour? Because that really ties into the daily rate. So the next thing I'm going to say is number of days worked. And all of these things tie in. This ties into the daily rate, this ties into hours, and this ties into transparency. So if you are in a work situation, and let's say, for example, it is a job, whether it's contract or it's for a 9-month period, 10-month period, 11-month period, you want to find out how many days of work are tied to the salary. This video is for entertainment purposes only. The following is a discussion of prorated salary. Because if you don't start right at the beginning of when that salary is quoted, let's just say they're quoting you $40,000 and that's for you to work from maybe in July or August until May or June. And then you don't start at that beginning, you start at, let's just say September or October. Well, your salary is going to be less. Something else you need to think about is hourly rate. Just what is the base hourly rate? Don't tell me anything about bonuses, incentives. Just by me showing up there for 8 hours, or just by me showing up there for 6 hours, or whatever, what is going to be the base salary? Don't tell me anything about premiums yet, okay? So start off with the base salary. All right? And so then we'll move on to the next stuff. But if they start telling you, oh, you're going to get this bonus or in this incentive, like, look at what's the base salary? Once all these bonuses and incentives are over, what is the base salary? And then you may get into things like premium. Is there a shift premium? Is there there's certain things in terms of law when it falls to holiday, but in addition to what the law requires, is there extra past what the law requires? If you come and work a certain day, on your day off, are you going to get, will you get time and a half? Will you get double time? Will you get triple time? And people say, wow, triple time. Yes. I can only speak in terms of healthcare and nursing. If somebody wants you bad enough, I have heard of people getting double and triple time. They just want somebody at that moment to show up. So you need to, but before you get to that, you want to know what your hourly rate is. So when someone speaks to you about bonuses, first of all, you want to have, and all this other stuff I talked about before, all the other areas, it needs to be in writing, nothing verbal. If I didn't say that on any of the things, it all needs to be in writing. But with the bonuses, you want to know the dollar amount, how many hours you have to work. When are you going to get it? Are you going to get it at one time, or is it going to be broken down? So whenever they say bonus, and remember, that bonus might only be one time, or it might be 2 times. So that your daily rate, your hours, your number of days working hourly is the most important thing. I've already talked about that. But that bonus, you want to know the conditions of it. And you want to know if you don't meet the specifications of that bonus, are you going to have to give it back? Is there going to be some kind of penalty or something, you want to make sure that you have that clear and in writing. And whatever you're quoted, ask for it in writing and make yourself some kind of file. In addition to paper, also electronic, so you can have, to make sure you have that to reference. That's very important. All right. So when we talk about incentives, you may have they may have certain incentives. That could be any kind of incentive. That could be a health care insurance incentive, any kind of benefit where you're getting incentives. That could be incentives that if you do certain things in terms of your healthy habits, that you're going to get an incentive. And you want to know what those incentives are and what the terms are. It could be incentives for childcare. It could be incentives for a host of things. And although I did not cover this topic, retirement options is also important, particularly as it relates to company match. Be sure to have that in writing. So, in summary, the things you need to think about when you accept a job that should be in your head, that you should think about, are your daily rate, your hours, the number of days you have to work, hourly rate, what bonuses there are there any incentives, and you also, the big one is the degree of transparency that the company has regarding what you're going to get. You need to think about all these things. It's very important. Don't sell yourself short.